Welcome to Lane County Working for You. I'm your host, Mary DiLorenzo. This program is produced to show you the wide variety of services provided by Lane County government and employees. Perhaps the most fundamental part of our democracy is the right to vote, to be able to choose the kind of leadership and laws that we desire. Lane County Elections ensures that our elections are fair and objective. Lane County Elections, working for your vote. Elections involve complex and interwoven procedures, which happen in quick succession with rigid deadlines, as required by federal, state, and local laws. The first step in being able to participate in an election is to register to vote. There are a variety of ways to register to vote. You can choose to fill out a voter registration card at the Department of Motor Vehicles. You can go to the elections office in person to fill out a registration card. And there's a form printed in the Quest telephone book. Elections staff needs to promptly enter the registration card data in preparation for any upcoming election, so that every voter can be mailed a ballot in time to vote. The number of cards received was as high as 18,000 the month before the 2008 general election, emphasizing the importance of filling out the registration card as instructed to prevent delays. The Elections Office contracts with a vendor who specializes in preparing the ballot packet for mailing. It starts with printing each qualified voter's name, address, ballot type, and precinct on the return identification envelope. Each voter's precinct and ballot combination is based on the taxing districts and political districts associated with the voter's address. Election staff closely monitor the entire inserting process, checking random envelopes to ensure accuracy. Once all the ballots are inserted, the packets are sorted by zip code and sent to the Gateway Post Office in Springfield for delivery to voters. Most voters receive their ballots about 2 weeks before Election Day. Some elections affect only some parts of the county, so not all voters get the exact same ballot. With the ballots in the mail, citizens need to decide how they want to vote their ballots. Often this starts with conversations between family or friends, perhaps information from public resources such as newspapers, radio and television news, voters' pamphlets, the county website, or the League of Women Voters. Before marking the ballot, voters are encouraged to read all the instructions, both on the ballot and the security envelope. This can help prevent mistakes. Use a black or blue ballpoint pen to mark your ballot. For your Lane County ballot, make a single line connecting the front and back of the arrow. The scanner may not read a mark that's too wide. Once the ballot has been voted, place it in the secrecy envelope and seal it. Then place it in the return identification envelope and seal it as well. Confirm that the envelope has the current resident's address. If it does, then sign the envelope using the same signature as is on your voter registration card.
When you sign your registration card, it's really important to use a signature that you can repeat, that is going to be repeatable on the ballot when you're signing it at that time, because we're required by law to be able to match the signature from your voter registration card to the return envelope on your ballot, your voted ballot. We actually look for multiple characteristics that are similar, and the staff will just sit there and look at it and see that it is actually the same. As long as it's the same, we accept the ballot. But if it doesn't, then it's pulled out and it goes to another team, and the team will look for multiple characteristics, and if they cannot find multiple characteristics, then a letter will go to the voter and say, we have a problem with your signature and you need to resolve it within 10 days after the election. What we really want to tell voters is that printing their name, that's just not easy to match a characteristics. Or if you use just a few initials, there's very little to be able to do matching of multiple characteristics. Young people need to find a unique signature that they can repeat from the voter registration card to the voted ballot, because we want to be able to count their ballot. And the whole goal of registering to vote is to be able to vote the ballot and us to count it. So we want to help them out.
Voters may choose to mail their ballots back using a first-class postage stamp. They can also drop their ballot at an official drop box location using the list provided with the ballot insert. The ballots are collected from the post office and the drop sites by 2 election staff of opposite party affiliation. Upon arrival at the elections office, the ballots are tracked on the statewide voter registration system in batches, according to the date of their return. This record of return ballots ensures against someone voting more than once.
Well, when we receive ballots here at the elections office, the first step is to identify the source of those ballots, whether we receive them through the mail or whether we pick them up at a ballot drop site. And then the ballots are put into batches of approximately 100 ballots per batch, all from the same source. At that point, staff go through each batch, ballot by ballot, and they pull out any ballots that aren't signed. And we mail those unsigned ballots back to the voter. If it's too late to mail it back, we make an attempt to contact each voter, let them know that they need to come down to the elections office by election day so they can sign their ballot. If they don't make it by election day to sign their ballot can't be counted. Each ballot batch gets an audit tracking form. And on that audit tracking form, staff note all the processes that happen to the batch, including signature verification, pre-inspection, all the way to the counting room where the ballots are scanned on the ballot counters.
Ballots are moved to the signature verification station, where every signature on every returned ballot envelope is compared to the current voter registration signature. In the case of a ballot challenge for a non-matching signature, the voter will receive a letter asking him or her to resolve the discrepancy. Any Oregon voter with a disability can get assistance to register to vote, vote their ballot, or return their ballot. To vote privately and independently, there are several options available. The alternative ballot can be received by email for voters who have access to a computer with a web browser and a printer. For those without the required technology, an accessible computer station is available at the elections office. Voters who are sight impaired can also request a large print ballot. For any Lane County special needs assistance, call 541-682-4234. Not sooner than a week before Election Day, ballots are inspected in preparation for counting to ensure the ballot will be correctly read by the optical ballot scanners. This determines if the ballot can be scanned as is or if it needs to be rejected or duplicated following the state vote-by-mail procedures manual. Processed ballots are then forwarded to the ballot counting room to be run through the optical ballot scanners.
Well, Oregon is a voter intent state, which requires all counties to review the intention of every voter's ballot. A pre-inspection board is comprised of 2 members of opposite political party affiliations, and the objective of pre-inspection is to ensure that every ballot is machine readable and that the voter's vote is accurately recorded. Now, ballots that are damaged or may have some other issues about them that they would not be machine readable are forwarded to a 2-member duplication team for processing according to the vote-by-mail procedures manual. Each step of the ballot pre-inspection process is systematically accomplished 1 ballot batch at a time, following exacting procedures.
A series of accuracy tests are conducted on the ballot count system before any voter ballots can be counted. This requires running test ballots with every precinct and ballot combination through the scanning equipment. Each time the test is repeated, including the final test after the last ballot is counted, the results are compared to the initial test to validate that the counting system has not been tampered with. The first election results are made available at 8 p.m. on Election Day. Those results are also available on the Lane County website. The results are updated on the hour throughout the evening until the unofficial final. Final election results are certified by the 20th day after the election. This allows for resolution of challenge ballots, return of ballots received by other Oregon counties, and the final reconciliation between return ballots that were registered on the statewide voter system and the actual counted ballots. Lane County Elections provides our county with an election process that assures every registered voter has a chance to make their voice heard. All of the processes require exacting procedures and careful oversight. You can count on Lane County Elections staff to be dedicated to providing just that to Lane County citizens. I'm Mary DiLorenzo, and I invite you to be with me again as we discover more about Lane County working for you. To learn more about the Lane County Elections Office, visit the county website at lanecounty.org/elections or call 541-682-4234.